Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to Chippy Gaming. So it's been a few days since the announcement of the cancellation of Hytale. And to be expected in the days that followed, we've seen a lot of former developers come forward airing their grievances and just trying to give people a better idea of why the game was cancelled in the first place. We've learned a lot about the early days of development, we've learned a lot about some recent developments too, but amongst all the noise, there's been a situation that's been brewing. One that could potentially legitimately lead to Hytale being revived. So let's talk about it. Now, all of this began when Slicky, somebody who had previously worked on Hytale, tweeted out, hearing it wasn't feature creep. Honestly, I could only smash my face in the table if anyone believes that. Systems that were already far ahead of Minecraft at the time were completely reinvented to make them even better, which then prompted Simon, the former founder of Hypixel Studios, to respond. During my time working on Hytale in 2016 to 2019, it was maybe to the absolute maximum 2 years away from a PC release with the legacy engine and vision. I don't know exactly what happened in the past few years. I've not seen the game since 2019. The team back then was locked in and cracked beyond anything. The momentum was insane. I was burning maybe 350 to 400,000 a month on Hytale's development, somewhat sustainable, but that was before Hypixel Skyblock and the server was on a decline, so I needed funding soon to help keep going at such a pace. Then I think the pressure of having the Riot Games label plus mega viral trailer, bigger funding, and higher expectations made us all doubt ourselves back then. On a personal level, I couldn't live up to these new high expectations and was given the option to leave by Riot. The team was so good that I felt an imposter at that point. Given my limited real game development experience, it was good for me to leave and I agreed. However, for me, it's always been a grieving process to walk away from such an extraordinary opportunity. This week is full of what if thoughts going through my head. Now, they do go on to talk about their relationship with Noxy, the current CEO of Hypixel Studios, but honestly, not super relevant to this video, so I'm going to skip past it. Now, before we move on to where this is all heading, there's quite a bit to unpack there. Firstly, when they left the project in 2019, they believed that the game was only 2 years away from release. That is, if the game stuck with its original engine and original vision, which makes a lot of sense in retrospect, just given how much the developers were talking about the game in 2019. For example, in the past 2 years, we've had 6 blog posts about Hytale, one of them to cancel the game, but in 2019, there was 26 blog posts. Now, after hearing Simon had what ifs, it started prompting people to ask further questions, with someone asking, so supposedly Riot reached out to a bunch of people to acquire Hytale. Did they not reach out to you? With Simon responding, unfortunately, no, but it makes sense because they were probably looking for someone that could support the expenses of the team for years to come. Someone else wrote, wouldn't there be a possibility that together with Riot, you could partner with the former team to revive the legacy engine? With Simon responding, I've not seen the game since 2019, so it would be hard for me to know if it's worth looking into. It seems like the chapter is truly closed. I do have the money to run a 30 people team for a while, but they were over 150, so not sure what kind of beast it has become to handle. But it doesn't stop there, with Tubbo saying, all I'm saying is this community is very passionate about this project. With Simon responding, I get it 100%. Look, I'm even down to put 25 million USD by myself to finish Hytale. That's how much I believe in it. No Kickstarter, just raw passion, high pressure, and high risk taking. Reduced scope, legacy engine, PC only first, open source some parts, small team, cut unfinished features to accelerate towards beta, get players in ASAP to support development. I even already have a dozen of Hytale legacy engine veterans working with me. That's what I would do, but I've not reached out. I'm just thinking about it now because of the bullying, which for context just refers to this tweet. This would be a massive challenge and impact all aspects of my life, so I'd probably need to consult with my family first. Now, even though that isn't a guaranteed I will buy Hytale back, Riot will sell it to me, I've got everything ready to go. Out of anything we could have possibly heard, this is probably the most concrete idea or solution to bringing back Hytale. Because ultimately, it was that legacy engine, that initial trailer, the artwork, the atmosphere, the music that we all fell in love with. At its very core, I think that's the version of Hytale the world wants. They want this scrappy indie, we're putting it out, we're patching it, we're going to make it better approach. Because for a lot of people, it's reminiscent of how Minecraft Minecraft was developed. And ultimately, I think people wanted to see Hytale go down a very similar path. The thing is though, would Riot sell back a game to somebody they partly acquired it from? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. We're in the weird timeline now. We truly are. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this as it develops. So as weird as it is to say, if you want to keep up to date with all things Hytale, make sure to click the subscribe button. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe. Peace.